Hi, my name's Emma and I design and make corsets. Historically, corsets were compulsory to wear, mainly if you were upper class. It was just seen as that was your way of life, that's what you would wear. Whereas in these days it's more fashion based. The Victorian era is interesting for corsetry because it's so varied, just through from 1860s through to the early 1900s. There were so many silhouettes, so many shapes, it changed yearly. If you want a good fitting corset, you need a lot of bones. Historically, whalebone was used in a lot of the earliest corsets, but these days you use plastic imitations like Ridgeline or stills. I usually use 2 bones in each seam, and then bigger panels would have some down the centre of the panels as well. The most bones that I've put in a corset is 96. I'd say the more average, maybe 30 or 40. Every corset I make is individual to the client and what they want. If they want something really historic, I will try and keep it exactly as much as I can to the historic fit of that era that they want. If they just want a basic corset, I'll fit something as close to their body measurements as possible. Usually with corsets, depending on the size and shape of the woman, you can take some inches off different areas of the body. Before the first fitting, I will just make the corset exactly to the body measurements, because with outer garments you add ease to get a more comfortable fit, whereas this is all about sculpting and giving the woman the shape that she wants. I specialised a lot in embroidery and beadwork when I was at university, so that for me is the fun bit at the end, when you get to put all the detail and the little pretty bits on at the end. It's a very long process with a corset because I like to start by drafting the pattern, which in itself can take a few hours to get the measurements exactly right for each person. Then there's a lot of different processes. I'd say average between 20 and 30 hours. The thing I like the most about making corsets is ultimately the reaction I get from the client, how they feel about seeing their body in such a different way. I think the best reaction was the client who nearly cried at the sight of having a cleavage, which she said she hadn't had her whole life. She was in her 50s, so she was over the moon